And there's sound. Thank you so much for that. Sometimes I don't notice the little green light. Look at that. Where would I be without you guys? That means I just shared a story to Instagram about this with no sound. Oh well. It'll be what it is. All right, so like I said, we're going to be getting a veneer order in tomorrow. We're going to be loading this up here, and then once we get all that veneer in here, we'll be able to start loading up the presses on a daily basis again. I think I'm going to start stretching out what we do, doing 2 presses and then 2 other ones every other day. That way I can go live with you guys a little bit more often. So if you're unfamiliar with Life Skateboards, we do everything in-house here. Obviously, we press all the boards. They cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave. If you want to read lips, you can just turn down the volume. Apparently, I didn't have my mic working at the beginning of this live. Thanks for pointing that out, Stug. But after those boards are cured, Sam brings them in here and puts the truck holes in, like this guy right here, into the uncut with this drill press. He then attaches one of these templates to it, cuts out the shape right here, and then when he cuts out the shape, this is what I get. Right here. So the edge of this is not at a 90 to the concave. It needs to be at a 90 to be able to round it off. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Be honest, I didn't plan on going live today. I wanted to get this done tomorrow, but got some side work done a little bit early, so I don't really like working in a coat, but I'm working in a coat today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be wearing a respirator for this portion, but when I get over to the Orbital, we have a HEPA-approved dust extractor attached to the Orbital. Sorry about that. And I don't have to wear a respirator, so I'll be able to answer your questions a lot better. All right, so let me throw this respirator on, and I'm going to get started here. We've got 2 6 plies and 2 7 plies today is what Sam told me. Looking like these are the 6 plies. Now the only difference between those, besides one being heavier than the other, it means on this step here, on the 6 plies, I just kind of tilt it back a little bit more. Things set up for a 7 ply thickness, but to get the perfectly round edge, I just kind of tilt it back, take off a little bit less material. Really quickly here. Hey, Juggalo, thanks for hopping in here. 1 second. Forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't even know if you guys can see the screen when I do that, but I'm sure I'm making a dumb face while I'm trying to do stuff. If you guys like what you're watching, double tap the screen, share it with people. I'm gonna get to work here. We're gonna take this through each step. I'm gonna try to show it off as close as I can. What's up, Dalton? Thanks for tuning in. And we're gonna get started here. And remember, you can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. We'll get exactly what you want. So now that the edge is at a 90 to the concave, I'm going to be able to round it off on this next step. And this is the step I like to show you guys at the closest angle possible. So I think it's pretty satisfying. All right. That's a cool angle. I don't think I've done that one yet. All right. So we're going to round off the edge on this double knuckle here. clip that real quick, and then if you look, the edge on this is now rounded off, but it's not very clean. So we're gonna clean it up on the drum next. Bring you guys over here. And once again, it's hard for me to answer questions while I have the Orbital on, but once we hop over to the, when I have the respirator on, but once we hop over to the Orbital, I'll be able to answer questions a lot easier. Really quickly though, I gotta grab the compressor hose and air this out. This drum has an air bladder in it. Want it firm with just a little bit of give. All right. Turn off the compressor so we don't get jump scared in the middle of work. And we'll get to edge shaping. So this step here cleans up the edges of the board and removes any excess glue that we can reach. It's warming up in here. I was waiting for that heater to kick on. All right, back to it. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask. One more step and I'll be on the Orbital where I can take the respirator off and talk to you guys. To the Mac wheel here, and after this step I'll be able to check on the chat a little bit more. Alrighty, now it's on to the Orbital, where I can actually check what you guys are saying. All right. Looks like the mics got disconnected. Yes, Rewind, we do press our own boards. We've got presses in the other room. I'll show you real quick since you felt like asking right when I had the opportunity to. So here's the pressing room right here. Here's a bunch of curing boards. And then I said earlier that we're gonna get a veneer order tomorrow, so you guys will see some of the pressing then. Good questions. Not a lot of people are pressing their own boards that they're shaping. All right, and remember guys, you can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. We're known for our strength, our deep concave, and we like to do direct to customer. That way we know where our boards are going. We know if you got a problem with it, you know who to go to. Hey, what's up, Clouded? All right, so this is just gonna bring, Rewind, good question. Canadian maple, so we say Great Lakes or Canadian maple because some of it does come from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Having something with slow growth and long winters makes the maple have tight grains. Tight grains are less porous wood, and then maple is already an extremely malleable yet strong wood, so that's why it's the best wood for skateboards. Good questions, man. And remember, this is hooked up to a HEPA approved vac dust extractor. Throughout the live, there will definitely be some wannabe OSHA members in the chat. We're gonna teach them what HEPA means. So after I'm done with this board here and bringing it all to 150, it's gonna go to Sam. We've got the shipping and printing studio right up the driveway there, where he's gonna apply the graphics. Here at Life, we apply all of our graphics as hand-carved lino blocks, carved by local artists, the majority of which were done by Ben Blakely. Look him up, he's an amazing local artist. But we apply those by hand because we don't really want to damage your board with a heat transfer. And if we finish these 4 boards with me to have enough time, I got to grip a board for myself anyway, so maybe I'll do that on live with you guys. All right, the top is good there. Yeah, do we do a twin nose or tail? Yes, we do, on anything. So we can twin any of our shapes because we're the ones making it. This is actually a double knuckle, which is a symmetrical shape. Any of our popsicles can be twinned. I'm gonna show you an example of a template. When I pull templates off the walls, remember those aren't boards. Those are the flat pieces of plywood that the shapes are cut out with. So this is a knife right here. Our buddy Jason up in Muncie at one point wanted a twin tail of this, and Sam did it for him. So yes, we will absolutely do whatever twin you want as long as it makes sense. So if you go to lifeskateboard.com, you see a shape that you want to be twinned, just let us know, we'll figure it out. There's contact on there as well. Great question, Rewind. Screen transfers and silk screening are an awesome graphic application process as well. We're gonna be stoked on any type of graphic application process that doesn't put stress on the board. However, here we use lino blocks. If you don't know what those are, those are those things you carved in high school. The reverse image carve thing used to be carved out of little pink rubbery stuff. Now it's a harder gray plastic material. I actually have a few for my wax company right over here. But the lino blocks that we print with are up in the shipping and printing studio. If I step out there, I'm gonna lose Wi-Fi. Here's an example. If this is just made for making packaging for my wax. So it's just for you guys right now, this is forward. Remember, this is a reverse screen, so it's all carved backwards. Well, Shane, I would highly suggest going on our website and checking out the over 100 shapes that we've had for a very, very, very long time. You're going to find some that already existed that were similar to what you're asking about, but there's just a ton of different shapes on there. Some of them have very slight differences. Some of them are very, very different, like our aggro. Thank you so much, Skateboard. Skateboard. And if you don't want to take my word for the quality on these boards, you can go ahead and check out Life Skateboard on Google and hear how much our customers love us. We love our customers and our customers love us. It makes us happy. The direct-to-customer aspect of all this really creates a good relationship with the customer base that we have. It's a really nice little community. It's the skateboard guy. Yep, that'd be me. I'm back. Took a little break from going live for a little bit, but I'm back. Sure am making a skateboard. This is the last step before graphics are applied. We're just shaping four today. I'm going to take my time, and if I finish with enough time, I'm going to grip a board for myself before we leave. And then at some point tomorrow, an order of veneer is going to come in. Maybe I'll go live to sort it with you guys. That's pretty boring, so we'll see. It definitely does. Some of these dyed veneers, once they get sanded, just the parts of the dye that was light start to leave, and you get to see all the flagging and grain patterns. I love it. Part of my job that really loves me. Life Skateboards, made right here in Indiana. Hi there, Michael. I don't smoke, and actually I don't do hard flips either. That's the one that's always missed me. Always had a problem with that. Frontside flips, no problem. But for some reason, as soon as I stop turning my shoulders with it, the hard flip doesn't work. But if you want to see me skate, you can go check some other videos. Maple. Hey, Sonny Landish. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you're having a good one. Yes, it does come from a maple tree, Michael. So the things that happen, if you're new to these lives, I'm pretty much just going to be going through making boards. We get into discussions about things like sobriety and just things going on in my life, stuff like that. So if you're new here, that's what you should expect. Pretty much every conversation ends up falling into talking about sobriety, complaining about the industry one way or the other. You can get me on a rant for sure. This Orbital is hooked up to a HEPA-approved dust extractor, so none of the fine particles are making their way into my nose, but it does smell great in here. It smells like wood. No, Shane, our boards are pretty much, we don't need to do that. So here at Life, we wanted to perfect the all-wood construction board. And that we believe that our process creates a stronger board than most factory boards. That's why we can do all wood construction. The all wood construction feel is something that people chase. Me personally, I like an all wood construction feel. Our boards just tend to be stronger than your factory boards. And the reason for that would be our deep concave, long press and cure time, and then no stress graphic application. And plus it's made to order. It's not made sit on a warehouse shelf, then a skate shop shelf, and then maybe under your feet. It's just made for you. So that's why we do all wood construction. Good questions though. Whew. Thank you, Rewind. I love hearing that. Some people are like, I mean, when you look around the walls here, these are all different shapes, and some of those go back more than one. And those templates go all the way into the other room. So turnaround time on orders is 2 to 3 weeks max, and the reason for that is we might have to press something fresh for you, and like I said, we do a long press and cure time. Once the board is pressed, it's not going to get cut out until 7 days afterwards when it's all the way cured. Now, if we're talking about just shaping a board, putting a graphic on, I can shape a board in like 15, 20 minutes, take it over to the printing and shipping studio right up the driveway, slap the graphic on there, wait for it to dry, and then clear coat, dry, clear coat again. So it doesn't take that long. It's just the waiting process, waiting part of the process. Good questions, though. We will, however, be adding finished boards to the website that are ready to ship. Most of the time, we prefer our customers to order things that they want us to make, but we will throw some boards on there that are already made. That way you don't have to wait the full time period. A little bit more love on these rails here, and this guy is good to go. And of course, while I'm on here talking to you guys, it does take me a little bit longer to finish these boards out. However, Sam, the boss man, my owner and good friend, I'm sorry, the owner, not my owner, he's stoked on creating this community. So, how many skate you do today? Hi, Michael. I've been live for just this live. I mean, I've just been working for this live. We're just doing 4 today. And then tomorrow we're going to be pressing and doing some more. Alrighty. And there we go. So this guy is ready to go for graphics from Sam, and we'll move on to the next one. Another 6-ply double knuckle here. I'm going to be real honest, I don't have the prices memorized. I shape the boards, I press the boards, I roll the glue, and I do some of the graphics. When you guys place orders, Sam sees everything. I don't edit the website, I don't have anything to do with the business side of things. I'm just here to tell you guys to get a life and show you the process. But if you go to lifeskateboard.com, check out the double knuckle on there, and that's going to be the price for this. There's no upcharge to make it a 6-ply. There's going to be an upcharge to make it an 8-ply, add wheel wells, stuff like that. So you can just mess around on that website, Shane. Sebi, is that the one that was? Is that the one that was on? They had a arcade version of it, and they had it at Chuck E. Cheese, and I can't remember any of the gameplay because I was at near infancy, but probably. I do very, very vividly remember a arcade Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie or game. Sorry guys, I haven't been live in a minute. Forgive my inability to talk. I don't know if that was it. Sebi, you made me really, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole when I'm done working today and find out what game I played all the time when I was a kid. Thank you, I appreciate you. That is a good question. All right, let's throw this respirator on and get going again. Like I said, we're just trying to knock this work out today. Grip a board, get home, get some rest, and then get back in here to unload veneer. so you can see the edges on there, brought it to a 90 now. All right, really quickly here, guys, I realized that I shared this to Instagram without any audio, so 1 second, I'm gonna share this again to get some of those guys over here. Back. Sorry about that. I shared a story to Instagram at the beginning of this with absolutely no audio because I'm a dummy. Figured they should probably know. Oops, the mic disconnected. Dream spot. Well, I don't know. You know what? There's a brick circular quarter, and I honestly have no clue where it is. I need to do some research on it. I would love to skate. But there is a street obstacle out in Chattanooga that I'm going to visit this summer that I'd love to skate. Now that guy's ready for the drum. Let's clean this drum off here. By the way, this is it's called sanding belt cleaner, but it's grip gum. Question on there, but my eyes are not very good, so bear with me here. what's up, Graybeard? Thanks for tuning in. We got 2 more boards left after this guy. Then it's looking like I'll have time to shape my grip my board. I don't skate normal grip tape. So hopefully, at the end of this live, be able to show you guys how to apply DKL non-abrasive rubber grip tape. I use it because I'm poor and I can't afford shoes as often as I go through them. All right, so we're gonna move on to the Orbital here. There we go. So, like we said on the last step, that's removing any glue that we can reach. Obviously, you can't reach glue on the top of the board. There we are. Thank you, Edits. I'm proud. I'm happy. Doing what I love and being able to share it with people is a very very satisfying way to live. Fulfilling. That's for sure. And remember, guys, you guys can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. You'll find over 100 shapes on there. You can get it delivered. You can make any deck a complete. If you got any questions, you can contact us either through the Life Skateboards Instagram, and that's at Life Skateboards 1010, or you can contact me at Stranger Casper on Instagram. I'm a little more responsive there. We also have a Discord for the channel. I'm just really bad at using it. Juggalo in the chat there was the one that suggested I use it. I think, I don't know, I got the memory of a comatose goldfish. But I'll get used to using it sometime soon. We'll see. Post in the Discord that we were going live, so sorry. Alright. Top ply is good and clean. Clean up the bottom ply here. So Graybeard, we have made freestyle decks in the past. You're gonna have to ask Sam about that. So just reach out to him about it. I know that we haven't made one since we moved to this shop, but it was like the more narrow board with barely any kick on it, super flat, made to match T-hangers. So yeah, just hit up Sam about that. And if you guys don't know who Sam is the owner, operator, and creator of Life Skateboards. But Graybeard, I will say that I have modified a mid-twin from Life Skateboards into a freestyle deck myself. All I did for that, so the mid-twin is 8.6. I just brought in the edges of that where it tapers out, squared them off so that it would sit for rail stands really well, squared off my nose and tail, and it's been a fun little freestyle board for me. So yeah, just hit Sam up about that one for sure. It's one of those, if we don't have it, we might make it. And when I'm done with this deck here, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of my next deck. I did a bit of an experiment with the graphic, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's a nice little murdered out, all black with white edge board. We've got some friends that I'm sure we could hook you up with. Our buddy Orion, who is traveling through and is currently crossing the U.S. on a bike, a skateboard on his back. I think it was MLM Freestyle Boards was who he was working with. Make sure you double tap the screen for me. Let YouTube know you like it. Hopefully it gets recommended to the right people and we find our little corner of YouTube to make boards the right way and talk about it. Hey, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Just talked to Ray the other day. I'm hoping to make it out. We're hoping to bring the crew out there at some point. Peer pressure everybody else to double tap the screen. That'll work. All right, so this guy's ready for graphics. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys my next rider that I'll be gripping at the end of this live. And then we're going to get to finishing these other two, and these guys are 7-plies. We got a long pan head and a mid-twin. So we're just going to push those through at the same time. That's what I heard too. Ooh. All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going to go grab that board. All right, you guys ready? So whenever I roll the edge on my boards, I know I'm not going to cut a pattern into the grip, so I only have to go this far on it because that's all it's going to show. Here is my next rider from Life Skateboards. We did a little bit of an experiment with lino blocks where I rolled the whole board in black and then pressed the lino block over and over again, kind of like made an emboss effect. I am really stoked on this board. Can't wait to skate it. At the end of the live, I'm going to grip it. But this is a Casper Signature 3.0. I can't even express how excited I am about this board. I'm not going. I cleared it on the way in here, and this is my first look at it. I think I did good. Look at that. Just look at that. Just take a look at it and say, look at this. All right, so that's my next board, and I'll grip that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and take these boards through all the shaping process here. Once again, sorry for the stuttering, difficulty talking, and all that. It has been a minute since I've done a live, but we'll be back. Hello, eats everything. Don't eat skateboards, it'd probably hurt. Thank you, Graybeard. That's true, man. You're right. I didn't know what I was thinking. I got like a whole skateboard inside of me at the moment. In my lungs. In my eyes. In my everywhere. Now that we're done with the belt sander, we're going to clean it off. I'm going to show you, move you guys over here so you can watch that. Now we're going to move on to the edge router here. Let's raise you guys up. And if you guys are enjoying this, share it with your friends, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it with your grandma. Maybe she wants to see skateboards made the right way. Who knows? I see a question on there, and I'll be able to see it in just a moment here. catch up with the chat here. We got the router is definitely my favorite part too. How strong are our boards? Extremely strong. Our boards are way stronger than the your factory standard boards. If you don't want to take my word for it, you can go to Life Skateboard on Google and check our regular reviews. Well, thank you. Thank you guys. I love it when the customers and supporters chime in on that one. Absolutely. So go to lifeskateboard.com, and we ship all over the world. International shipping sucks right now. I'm just going to warn you on that. But at 8.3, just check our website. We got something for you. You'll notice these 7 plies go a little bit quicker than the 6 plies. No new questions. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be on the Orbital in a moment here, so I'll be able to actually see everything while I'm working. that we're done with the drum for the day. We can go ahead and clean this guy off as well. Then we'll get over to the Mac wheel, Orbital, and then I'll grip my board. All right. I see a good question on there from Graybeard. I personally don't have a lot of freestyle stuff. Trying to think about who has some really good examples of freestyle. If any of you guys have anybody that you guys follow or you guys are subscribed to that shows off really good freestyle tricks or anything like that, feel free to plug them in the chat there. That way Graybeard can get inspired. That is something I should record and do more, I guess. All right, let's get you guys up here. Reconnect the mic because I disconnected that again. What's up, Imp? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Tammy? Ooh. All right, so we're going to be getting to the Orbital on these guys, and then I'm going to grip my own board. Dang, I hope you feel better, bud. That's never fun. Me and the lady have been exchanging being sick off and on for the last couple weeks. That's never fun. It's still fun, though. I mean, I had to learn like some freestyle combos. A few years ago, I did set out on a little mission to land a different trick and post a different trick every day. And if you go back a few years on my Instagram, you can find that. But there was a point where I had a very small room with a concrete floor in it. And that was the only place I could skate when it was cold. So I had to learn some freestyle. Rail stand to rail stand. Let's see. I guess that's, wait a minute. That would be 50-50 to 50-50 in freestyle. Primo to primo. Rail stand, carousel, I had to learn that. That was a fun one. Weird Casper stall variations, all kinds of stuff. I hope you survive, man. I need you here. What am I gonna do? The young nerd in me cannot remember what the quest was called when you had to go around on RuneScape and get all the beads from the imps, but that's what I was just trying to refer to, imp, and I'm sorry, I can't think of anything. My brain's not working today. Pretty much doesn't work every day, but here we are. quick, just gonna kind of go over what people can expect on this channel as I finish up the last couple boards and get over to gripping a board. So pretty much, obviously, live board making here. What's up, godly noob plays? But besides just making the boards, I also travel with a group. That would be Luke Nation, Chuck Bennett, and Blake Jones. We go around with an anchor spot over in Columbia Station, Ohio. We're going to be visiting Chattanooga, Fort Wayne, probably Pennsylvania again. It's going to be a really fun time, and I've got 4 of those videos posted as well. There's another series called Coffee Talks where we go and interview people. Interviewed Justin Hutchins right in the next room over there. Posted that about his recovery from a fully detached hamstring, so go check that out. And then I did start this other little weird series that I don't know how it's going to work. It is probably going to change as we go. It's called Let's Start an Argument. I'm just going to do a bunch of tricks, put a number in the top corner, and have people argue in the chat, in the comments about the names of it. We'll see how that goes. It's just a concept. Otherwise, it's just a way for me to put tricks out there. It's fun. Nick Hester, I got you, man. So I actually made a playlist of the edge router being used, so you can just hear the hum of that over and over and over again because somebody asked for it. I'm making a skateboard here, just finishing it up. I think I need to now, man, graybeard. Pretty much. Thank you. And you guys can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. They're available all different shapes, sizes, different concaves. You can choose your wheelbase, you can pick your graphics, you can pick your ply number. And you're likely going to see it shaped live here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe so you can catch me making these boards live. And if you want, you can follow me on Instagram at Stranger Casper. I try to put it on my story every time I go live. Thank you, Mitch. And when you get one of these boards and you want to suggest it to your friends, you get to run up to them and yell, "Get a life!" Because you just want them to have a better board. You're not being mean, but I will warn you, if you yell "Get a life" at strangers, I am not responsible for the results of that. I have suffered the results of that. It's not very fun. Well, we're not going anywhere, godly noob. So, we got you. Whenever you're ready, we'll be here for you. If you got any questions about it, you can feel free to ask. You can ask here. You can ask through askdayswithcasper@gmail.com, or you can hit me up through Instagram and ask me there. Anything, if you're getting ready for to make an order or trying to build up to one, I can help you out picking what you want. So. We're not going anywhere, and there's no rush to get aboard. You bugged me on Instagram about making boards? I don't remember anyone bugging me. Is asking me about boards bugging me? But how expensive is it? So popsicles are $75, and then shapes go up from there. If you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can check all of our prices out. The boards are going to last a lot longer than your factory boards and things. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can Google Life Skateboards, check our reviews, and listen to our customers. For sure. All right, so Joe, very fortunate that I have some time and a couple of boards that I can use as an example here. So you're asking about what tail has the best pop. It's really going to be dependent on you, but I can show you a little bit here. So this is a square tail here, and then let me go find a popsicle for you real quick so I can show you some geometry that makes your pop make sense. All right, there's a popsicle. This is a wall hanger, forgive the dust. All right, so it really just depends on how precise you are with your pop. So when you think about this, when you pop, all of this surface area all the way across here is what touches the ground. So you don't have to be as precise with a square tail. But then again, you're making contact with all that. The popsicle, you're making contact with whatever point you push down. So it's all dependent on you and how precise you want to be. I personally skate this shape. Because I like the versatility of using the nose as a tail. The tail of this board is actually a popsicle with a little bit of a fishtail cut out there. And then I've used a knuckle on the nose, gave it some angles. Still has that small surface area there, but just kind of gives you some versatility in your pop. These boards have a weight limit. That's not really... So when it comes to skateboarding, putting a weight limit on something is the dumbest thing you can do, because you're going to be jumping downstairs, you're going to be doing all kinds of stuff that puts stress on a board in all kinds of ways that you can't really measure. So we're not going to do that. But what you can do is know that our boards are way stronger than factory standard as a 7-ply. And if that's not good enough for you, we will make an 8-ply for you. Those things are tanks. I've seen cars parked on them. But hope that helped. Oh yeah, I mean, factory boards break all the time. I'll be honest, when I found these boards, I was working in a skate shop. Part of my pay was a deck a week, because I was going through a deck a week because I was heavy-footed and skateboarding every single day. Definitely would not have been able to afford that. I was just working in a shop. When I started skating these boards, they started lasting me a month at a time instead of a week at a time, and I love them. And then again, it's going to take... your friend is almost 300 pounds, all muscle. I would suggest getting an 8-ply for us then. Seen a car parked on that thing. So all of our boards have a ply option on the website, and that's lifeskateboard.com. You're just going to go there and in the middle of your order, select 8-ply, and we'll do it for you. You have a hammerhead. So right over there, there's a coffin. And then the next one over, right here, is our hammerhead. Sorry, this is all mirrored, and I'm watching myself point, and I'm having a difficult time with it. And I'm taking my time with you guys. As long as I leave here by about 7 o'clock, I'll be good. Going on 5:40 right now. I got plenty of time, so I can take my time responding to you guys as well. If you have any questions, now is the best time to ask. Absolutely. So a fun guy who likes turtles. I already like your name, dude. You're one of my best friends already. The first 2 boards I actually shaped on this live were 6-plies. So when you order your board, you're going to have an option for 6, 7, or 8. 7 is going to be your standard. There's an upcharge for 8. There is no upcharge for a 6. The knucklehead is a very fun one. Ethan, can you try that one again? Yeah, I like that guy. I think he's funny. Ballsy for sure, too. You too, fun guy. Have a good one. And if you'd like, go ahead and subscribe so you can catch these lives, because I have nothing that resembles a schedule. So if you got any questions, it's a good place to ask me those. this is the last step of sanding before graphics are applied to a skateboard. So this is one of the long pan heads from Life Skateboards here. At the moment, this step here is just cleaning up the edges and removing any excess glue that the other machines didn't get. Yes, we do ship all over the world. International shipping is an absolute nightmare right now, but we do it. So just check it, lifeskateboard.com, and we got you. Hey Carson. Bye-bye. What a dumb thing to do, wasn't that was pretty silly, wasn't it? What's the favor, Godly? I got you. You need me to show you something? You know it. It's fun. Most of the time when people are douches on here and I'm kicking them, I just go boop. It's a fun thing we do here on the channel, but only one person got kicked for being annoying today. But Godly Noob, what'd you need help with? Thanks for tuning in, Cool Phil. Hope you're having a good evening today. Hope wherever you are, it's not as cold as it is here. And if you guys like what you're watching, make sure to double tap that screen for me. Is it cold in Galveston? You know what? I have a feeling it's not that cold. It's just cold to you. It is freezing out here. Actually, it's probably not that cold. It's just cold to me. Somebody in Alaska would say the same thing I just said to you. But I hope it's all right, Cool Phil. Cool Phil. Thank you, noob. Your SIM card. I don't know how to help you with that. Did I hear a door open? Did I hear a door open? Is there a Sam in here? Sam! Sam! You want a hot dog, buddy? I'm sorry, it's really hard for me to not say my boss's name without saying, you want a hot dog, buddy? Because of that video of that dog with a hot dog named Sam. It's a mess up here, I promise. Cohesive speech and normal people. That's not me. I'm hoping we can get back on track, going live on a regular basis here soon. On days that I don't come in here and go live, I think I'm just going to set up a little table to have my coffee talks with you guys, just kind of catch up with everybody, meet new subscribers, and have a chance to talk talk to you guys. Sorry, I'm burping in between every word right now. That was kind of gross. My bad. Ooh. It's just been so cold, and I used to do those out on the balcony at my place, but I think I'll have to set somewhere up inside to do it from now on. All right. This one's going to be pretty. Yeah, absolutely. So, let's see. I might even have one in this room here. Yep, I do. So this right here is the knucklehead. Earlier today I shaped a double knuckle, which was a twin. This is the non-twin version of it. This is an old rider of someone. But right here, there's your nose on there. There's that. Back kick, front kick. Beautiful board. The knucklehead was actually one that I really liked personally myself. Let's get some measurements on it while we got it here. How do I not have a tape measure right here? I'm disappointed. Where's all the tape measures? There's one. You'd think in a wood shop they'd be everywhere, and they usually are until we actually need one. So your back truck bed sits right at 9 inches. Very center of your deck is like 9 and 9.1. Front truck bed, right at 9 inches again. Hey there, Bradley. So we have an amazing, really good team. I'm actually on the team. I work for the company and ride for the company. We've also got Lyle. We've got Justin Hutchins, who I interviewed up for the channel here. And we've got Jake Daney, absolute ripper. And then we got some of the younger cats. We got Gavin Svetlik. We've got Jax. We've got Key. If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm going to be kicking myself later for it. But we've got a great team. If you go to Life Skateboards 1010 on Instagram, you'll be able to see the whole team tagged in the bio there. That, yeah. Sorry, I had to set that down in the other room. Graybeard, did you get a 6-ply double knuckle? Or was it just a double knuckle? I'm on the team. I'm not the owner of the company, guys. I am just the sole hourly employee here. I dropped a sponsor to pick this one up. Love those guys. Obviously, I'm going to be sponsored by the company for the boards I make. Hi there, Cyber Diver. Can you elaborate on yourself real quick? Where did you get that idea from me? I'd love you to tell me when I said those things. Go ahead. Oh, wait. And just so you're aware, it's Skateboard. That's how you spell that, in case you were wondering. I'm really surprised I spelled that well. Thank you, man. I will say that I am paid properly here. I'm taken care of. Obviously, I'm paid hourly here. The more work there is, the better I'm going to be doing. I do side work to be able to pay bills, and you guys can make that a lot easier for me by ordering more boards from us. Obviously, you had said you're waiting, but Sam takes great care of me. Been here for several years now, and for the work that's available, he takes care of me quite a bit. Bonus skateboards, Life Skateboards. I mean, I ride for the team, so I get as many boards as I want. The board in the other room is mine. But yeah, it definitely is bonuses. I mean, so whenever I skate a board, the majority of the time it's a board that won't reach the customer. So let's say there's like a split right here. I'm gonna epoxy that split, sand over it, roll over it, and it's gonna be for me. That wouldn't have been good enough for a customer, but it's no waste for us. There's a board under my feet. That kind of helps eliminate some of the waste here at Life Skateboards as well. Oh yeah, we got some wide boards. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I actually have one of the Mega Roll XLs set up in my car. So I'm gonna grab that, bring it in here and show you. I'm 31. And then I'm gonna grip that board because we do have a lot more time than I thought we would today. I know, I look a lot older, don't I? Dang, that was, whew. Thank you, man. That felt good. Let me tell you, I think I look a lot older than I am, but thank you. I guess if you take out the years I don't remember, I'm kind of like 25. Oh, rad, yeah. So Sam, actually, you might be able to see a video of those wheel wells getting put in, dude. Check out the Life Skateboards Facebook and Instagram. Sam posted a video of him doing a big stack of wheel wells. I was only asking because I shaped 2 6-ply double knuckles earlier on the live. Awesome, Godly, and hopefully get yourself a board too soon. It's It's a fun time in your life, man. Getting a little bit of independence, being able to get out and get to the parks by yourselves, start taking your friends to the park. That's a good time in life right there. Your bones are still a little bit rubbery. It's good. If you want one, you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get one of your own. We call that ollieing. Are you talking about like doing a hippie jump or just straight up jumping on it and focusing it? Kind of getting this smoothed out here. Needs a little bit more love on this rail. There you go. Hippie jumps. See, now that is a good, hippie jumps can be board breakers, especially if you're going over something real big or turning. Not sure what part of the board you're going to land in. One of the first big clips I got for life was, we call it the hippie jump of life. So, love me a good hippie jump. Hey, that's a good start there, man. That's a good start. I started working well before I should have started working. I was a caddy when I was 12 years old. So I think by 16 I was working behind a register while I was caddying on the weekends. All right, this guy's good for graphics here. I said I was going to show off the giant board and grippa board, so bear with me here. If you guys have any questions, again, this is the best time to ask. I'm going to throw my coat on so I can go out and grab that board out of my car. It's not talent, it's called work ethic. We'll see. Give me one moment here. It's gorgeous outside. I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not, because I did walk really far away from the phone there. Forgot where the board was in my car. But here we are. So earlier we were talking about having gigantic skateboards here at Life Skateboards. Nightbot needs to chill. Just kidding. I need to turn that off probably or change some of it. Yeah, Sam does the wheel wells really, really cool. He made this horse here. I don't know why he has all this stuff stacked around it, but Sam's got this horse right here. He's got this jig that he made specifically for the wheel wells. So this guy, this attachment, sanding attachment, gets attached to a drill. This bit here ran in right there, and then using the bushing, he'd be dipping it down into the wheel wells there. If you don't know what a wheel well is, it's a little sanded out notch where your wheel is going to touch the board. But Sam made this thing. This is his baby here. I only do wheel wells on my own boards because I'm not very good at adding them in right. Sam has been doing it since 2012. So All right. So I showed you guys some bigger boards. We make youth boards. We make boards all the way down to 775. Recently, Johnny Bad Blood, no it's not. I don't know. Nightbot's not a real person. Johnny, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, big boards. We're talking about big boards here. So Slappy let out some 13-inch trucks, right? Yeah, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm up here. It's all over the place. Whew. I make cool skateboard. So like I said, Slappy made a 13-inch truck, right? Well, we've been known for always making boards that are too big for the trucks on the market. When Slappy made an 11, we made a 12. So when Slappy made a 13, we made a 15-inch press. So this is a 14.6-inch board. This is the Mega Roll XL from Life Skateboards. We also have the Mega Roll, which is a 13.6. We've got the Mega Twin XL. Let me think about this. The Agro Extreme, and there's a couple other the bigger shapes. But if you go to lifeskateboard.com, you're going to be able to find those there. It is absolutely insane. And when we made this board, there are some bigger boards on the market. However, those boards on the market are pretty lacking in concave. So yes, it's novelty. Yes, it's fun, but it should be more functional. So we decided to make sure those wheel flares made it all the way to the edge of the board. So you've got really deep concave, really deep, and good concave. Those are the monster boards that you see pressed. And those are available at lifeskateboard.com. We suggest doing a 6-ply for them. If you've seen the video of Bam Margera kind of like throwing his arms, pumping himself around the castle with a real big board, that was a XXL panhead that I brought out there to him for him to ride. He had a lot of fun with that 6-ply. It's impossible to not have fun on these things. And real quick, I'm going to show off a graphic. This is my baby Lori right here. Sam actually helped out commissioning this graphic to boost some sales when I rescued this dog so that we could move, and it really helped us out. You can get that graphic on any of our boards. Yeah, dude, it does look like a fingerboard. Our first 11, that's the same reaction we got on the barge, which was our previous bigger board. All right, so it's pretty dusty right here, and I want to grip a board. So I'm gonna throw some stuff down. Hey, Heaven, nice to meet you. I'm gonna throw down something that I can grip my board on. And remember, I don't use normal grip tape. So if you're not familiar with DKO non-abrasive grip tape, you're gonna be by the end of the day here. Oh yeah, dude, Bam sober and shredding, it's awesome. And seeing the growth, it's gonna be great. Plus, he just got to cash in on some archival footage. I think that's pretty awesome. He's gonna get a paycheck for something he did years and years and years ago. I'm proud of him. That's awesome. All right, let's see here. I'm struggling in the other room right now, guys. Everything in a wood shop is covered in dust, so finding something not covered in dust is a little difficult. Here's the sign that I usually hold up on the lives. Let me get a rag to wipe this dust off and we'll get to gripping. There we go. Whew. Oh, I missed something. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so what do I want to know about you? I want to know if you want a Life skateboard. But somebody said, did I hear that correctly? You brought Bam aboard. Yes, so this summer, Bam was in Indianapolis for the Friday the 13th signing or something at a horror con. I was at my local, got a text that he was at my local park at Lawrence. When I got there, he was the only one there. We hung out for a while, skated quite a bit, talked about sobriety. He wanted my number, and then he wanted to go to Major Taylor's after he did his signing. And then he invited me and Luke Nation, who's the guy that I bring around skating all the time, out to the castle. We spent 5 days out there and had an absolute great blast. Horribly done video, I will say. It was very unorganized. I mean, we were just trying to enjoy the moment, so I didn't film that much. But there is a video up on the channel called Bam Bound about it, if you'd like to check that out. I'm grabbing my board real quick so we can get to the gripping. All right. No, I'm all right. It's okay. You can turn cap locks off though. You can ask me questions if you'd like it as well. Yeah, and it's been really cool because of his sobriety story. And I'm gonna be really honest. Before he got sober, I never would have wanted to meet him because of some of the things that he said during active addiction. But if you go watch that Bam Bound video on my channel, I got a really good interview with him about sobriety. We sat down behind his house. He's just straight up talked for 5 minutes. Unfortunately, that video has been put elsewhere. If you've seen the video of him sitting in his backyard with a red hoodie on talking, that was my video. Unfortunately, it made its way around. I don't do TikTok, and apparently that's where it got shared without my attention. My name's Casper. Oh, wait. You might have been asking heaven. Who knows? All right, so why do I grip roll the top like this? Because the only thing that's going to be visible is the very edge, and I want it to look dipped. So this is DKL non-abrasive grip tape. I've been riding it for 1.5 years now. Why? Because it saves my shoes and I'm poor. It works great when it's clean. Works great when it's dry. I love it. It's what I'm skating in every single video that you see me skating in for the last 1.5 years. Applying it is a little bit different than your normal grip tape. Casper like the ghost. I'm friendly most of the time, and then I disappear. All right. Alrighty, so with DKL, you can't really cut patterns into it, or it really does like to peel on you. And to set it down as center as possible. And remember, this is rubber, so it will want to stretch on you. So you want to make sure it's relaxed when you push it down. Otherwise, over time, the tension will just kind of pull it up off the board. Perfect. All right, and you just want to make sure you get all your bubbles all the way out to the edge there. Because unlike normal grip tape, you don't crease this stuff. Have I completely eliminated shoe wear? No. My shoes went from lasting 2 weeks to 6 months though. The wear generally comes right on the heel of my plant foot and the toes of my push foot. You can absolutely tell anybody anything about you, I promise. The stage is yours, Heaven. I brought a razor blade in. Oh, here it is. All right. So the other part of applying this grip tape is a little bit different, is the angle that you actually cut it on. So most grip tape is just a thin piece of paper, sandpaper pretty much, with adhesive on the back of it. This stuff is a little bit thicker, so you're gonna go around in one quick cut, doesn't have to be nice and clean, and then instead of, most of the time when you're gripping a board, you're holding the razor like that. For this, you're almost gonna have it straight across that rail like that. And I'll show you guys as we go here. Obviously, way easier on a non-shaped board. But we're gonna make this first cut around just to get the excess off of there, and then we're gonna come back at a harsher angle and clean it up. Trying to leave a little bit of a lip on there so I have something to come back and cut when I come around. And as I'm going along here, I'm just kind of pressing ahead of where I'm cutting to make sure that it's nice and adhered to the top ply. As you can see, the only thing that shows on the top is that white edge. Oops. Alrighty, so now that's on there. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see, but there is a slight lip on that grip tape. If you leave it like that, it's gonna peel. So now we're gonna come back around with a harsher angle and just kind of take a little bit of that material off of the top there, add an angle so that it doesn't have a chance to catch and peel. As you can see, I'm just taking a very tiny strip off of here. All right, clean up a little bit on the tail here, and then this guy is good to go. It's best to wait 24 hours to skate once you've applied it. So I'm usually setting up a board well before my other board is done. All right. And a little bit on the nose, and then we are good to go. Main goal with this is just to make sure that it doesn't catch if it lands upside down. All right, and there we go. This guy is good to go here. So with DKL non-abrasive grip tape, you want to start with fresh shoes. You want to start and keep it clean. Keeping it clean is either rubbing some grip gum on it. Honestly, while I'm skating, I am just taking my hand like this to it, and it knocks the dust off while I skate. I love it. I've been skating it for 1.5 years. It saves me money on shoes, and it is definitely worth it in my opinion. It is a 9 at the truck beds. Good question. Did I miss something? Yeah, I can read it for you. Guys, don't bully each other in there. It's gonna be okay. I promise. Scooping feel different? Not really. So what's really cool about this shape here is it used to have a fishtail, so it came out all the way like that, and I just took a 9-inch popsicle and traced it onto there to change it. This is the 3rd version of my shape that I've designed. Coolest board we have in the shop, probably, I'm really liking our Garrett. It's a new shape off of the monster press. Or I'm sorry, it's off of the wide press. Here is the template for it. It's a combination of the aggro and the rocket. Really cool shape. Obviously this is just a template, it doesn't have concave, but I think that's a really cool one. Let's see, boards that I just have in the shop. I do have a one-off board that I called the Fibula. Yeah, it looks really cool. What's up, Godly? That's awesome, Heaven. Congratulations. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you felt this was the place to share that. But here we go. So, Fibula. I broke my leg like four or so years ago, and I designed this board to be exactly like the X-Ray. So I called it the Fibula. It's a one-off mutant that matches my X-Ray pretty well. If you go to Stranger Casper on Instagram, you will find a photo of that in Casper. Point the camera up. What? Point the camera up. Why? I want to show you guys what I'm doing. We're located in New Palestine, Indiana. You wanted to see the roof. Okay, so in here, so this is actually pretty interesting. We moved shops in the last, I think it was 2 years. So this whole thing used to just be an empty shell. Me, Sam, and AJ built this out. Huge shout out to AJ. There's the roof. Here is the general wood shop in here. It's dark, but right up the driveway there is the shipping and printing studio. Well, the cool thing about this, Steve, is you're used to good skateboards made the right way. The majority of the industry started changing how they make skateboards. We didn't. So welcome to where you want to be, Steve. We got all kinds of boards here. What, you said you've been skating since the late 60s. That is awesome, dude. So that means you were probably on like roller derby boards. But we've got some boards from like 1986, 1986.5, 1990, 1993. Go to lifeskateboard.com and you'll definitely find some stuff for you. Thank you, bro. I am really having a hard time. Asking if the rubber grip feels different for scoop. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's a little bit different, but it's something that works. As far as different, we don't really notice the thickness of our grip tape. So that's the difference on there. I don't really have a problem with it. If you go check the Let's Start an Argument video I posted, I did a nightmare flip in it on flat ground with this grip tape. It's pretty good. You can always ask me something, I promise. You don't need to ask permission, because there's a high chance I'm going to miss you asking me for permission. Whew. Good and bad examples. I'm not going to go with brands. I'm going to go with processes. There we go. That way I'm not calling anybody out on by their name. So let's see. If you put more than 6 boards in a press, the boards are going to be different concaves from top to bottom. There's a pro that spoke about that, and being able to choose which concave he wanted. That's not a really good thing to show customers, because you don't know what the concave is. Short press and cure times for a lot of brands, that sucks. And then heat transfers. Heat transfers ruin skateboards. The thing that weakens the bond between wood and glue is heat. So putting a board through heat to apply a graphic just really doesn't make sense. How much do the boards run? $75 for popsicles, and then shapes go up from there. Am I going live tomorrow? Maybe. We have a big veneer order coming in tomorrow, so that means I'm going to get started pressing again. I haven't been live a lot lately because we've been a little bit low on veneer. I stocked up pretty well, so we've been doing all right. But when we have more veneer, that means I'll be able to press every day. If the veneer comes in at a decent time tomorrow, then I'll be in here pressing, possibly shaping, or hanging out with you guys. As these lives continue, I'll be taking lives where I'm not at work and just kind of sitting down and talking with you guys, called coffee talks. But in the meantime, we're just gonna go live here as much as we can. But so I'm gonna go ahead and end this live here soon. Make sure you subscribe if you want to catch these lives. I have nothing that resembles a schedule. Kind of fan named Brandon, but there's plenty of people like us doing it out there. You got C-Rat, you got Last Arrow, Big A, and then there's some aspects of mass production that I think could be a lot better, like mass producing screen printing rather than heat transfers. But that's just how it is. Show you, okay, you know what, I will. Unfortunately, I can only show you the template. So like I said, we make boards to order here. So when you ask about a shape, you're gonna see the shape. This is the piglet right here. This is just the template. So this is what gets cut out. But it's a fun one. You can check it out on lifeskateboard.com. No, but I've got a number you can troll. I'm all right. I really don't like to troll. I had a troll turned stalker recently that I had to get very serious about. It was not very fun. His whole YouTube account is gone now. Thanks, YouTube, for that one. Dirty Gecko Kids, I like that. I like that. Of course, of course. All right, so guys, go to lifeskateboard.com, get yourself a life. Make sure you subscribe, and after this, go to my channel, check out some of my videos. There's travel videos, there's skate videos, there's interviews. And then go to lifeskateboard.com. Get yourself a life. I hope you guys have a great evening. Thank you for spending this day with me, making some skateboards, and I hope that you'll see your board get made here on live very soon. Thank you guys. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Love you. Get a life.